Pick up some dope, I need way up on my scale. Living fairy tales, I look like a veggie tail. Living very well, I ain't about to spell. You can kiss my smell, I look like a wishing well. Living holy grail, we can kiss but I won't tell. I can send them straight to hell, when I walk don't leave a trail. Foolish ass, jealous ass niggas know they ain't down. Foolish ass, jealous ass niggas know they ain't. Ay, pick it back up and I kill the real shit. Shorty the one, but they act like I'm sick. Maybe I am, but I get it correct. I do not need to pull up with a clip, bitch. I'm solo, dolo, riding in photos. When you see me, I'ma act like a promo. Get on my dick while you act like a homo. I'm in the sky, so my life looking slow-mo. Pass me the mic and I'ma kill it with no effort. Circle full of clowns, I ain't fucking with your jester. Baby, I be smoking till my motherfucking chest hurt. Had to protect my heart, I be wearing hella vests. I'm the best, I ain't stressed. In the nest, count a check, take a rest, then I'm pressed, cause I'm on that fucking quest. Jealous ass niggas know they ain't down. Foolish ass, jealous ass niggas know they ain't down. In the stew alone, like a dog without a bone. Only time I feel at home when I write another song. Feeling like I'm busy bone, cause my flow is fully grown. Talking down on Schweitzer Stone, I'ma get you fuckers flow. Foolish ass, jealous ass niggas know they ain't down. Foolish ass, jealous ass niggas know they ain't down. Yeah. Wah. Fucking A, you bitch. You bitch. Okay, it's done now. Done with all the weird shit. Okay, we right back in this bitch. Welcome back to the communication station. Welcome back, Grace Anna. Good to see you in this bitch. So, we're going to talk about a couple things today. First of all, welcome back to the communication station. It's your boy Schwetzy in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, let's just jump right into it. I ain't about to waste no time. We've already done our little fucking intro and all that shit. Plus, we've already made another video today. So, we just going to get straight into this shit. First part of the video isn't going to be anything too crazy. Or too long. I'm not gonna get too long-winded with it. You know what I'm saying? This is just an observation and opinion from my perspective. This didn't really come from anyone else or anything like that. This is just what I've noticed from life for the most part. Grace Anna said, I caught a case today. No cap. Oh shit. Well, best of luck with that one, my guy. Yeah, fuck. Anybody who's lived a little bit of life, I'm pretty sure we all been there. You know what I'm saying? At least you're not in jail, you know? At least you're not in jail right now. But anyways, first part of the video, as y'all can tell from the title, it says the Western continents are the original landmass, right? Now, I guess a piece of this did come from somebody else, aka Dolo the Pilot Man. If y'all don't know who that is, look him up on YouTube. Y'all can find a lot of content. I'm gonna keep it 100% honest with you guys. I haven't even watched a piece of Dolo content in a good fucking minute. I don't watch very many people anymore. I learned to rely on my own 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I really do not watch anyone else for the most part. I catch a little piece of Mooney Mercury Baby sometimes. I catch a little piece of Dolo sometimes. I might pop into a live stream just to see what a motherfucker's talking about and shit. But for the most part, I don't watch nobody else because I've just seen, like, anytime that I go and watch somebody else is like, y'all are talking about shit that I've either already made a video on or I've already realized myself. So I don't really need nobody else at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm strictly just, like Grace Hannah said, I'm in my own lane. Like, I'm not really too concerned with consuming a whole bunch of astrological or spiritual content anymore at this point. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to all the real individuals out there. You know, there is real motherfuckers. And like I said, from time to time, I'll pop in and catch up on some shit that y'all talking about. Same go for Saint Uno. Same go for Cito, the spirit coach. Same go for Dave Beyond. Like, there's a lot of people out here that I respect, I fuck with. I know they make real content, but I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not somebody who is always on y'all shit. Just I don't know. It just became pointless to me at a certain point. Like I would rather just live life and experience rather than sitting around and watching shit all day. I'd rather go write a song or go out and do some shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not any shade or disrespect to anyone else. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of real motherfuckers out here, but it just became pointless to me. But so Dolo has a teaching from a good while ago, like a few years ago, where he was talking about how land come out of water, right? Just like us humans come out of water, land come out of water. You know what I'm saying? So what I started to observe based upon how everything correlate in society is that the Western continents are the original landmass. You get what I'm saying? Like these are the original land masses. That's why you have high percentage levels of natives around here. Not only people who carry the native spirit and the native sentiment, but also people who are born into a bloodline like that. Native American, native South American, native fucking Canadian, or whatever the fuck you want to call it in the shit that's above us, Canada and Alaska and all that shit. Like there's Alaskan natives there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we not only do we have that, but if you'll pay attention, everything always correlates back to America. Now that could be a fucking high level of indoctrination, and that's just how they want us to see things. But at the same time, it seemed to me like that's just how it is by default. It seemed to me like every other country that's on the eastern part of the world, aka Europe and Africa and fucking Great Britain and Ireland and all these other eastern continents, right? She said it's low-key the capital of the globe. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Everything correlate back to America. So AKA every other country, when they get in some type of trouble, they want help from America. They don't give a fuck about getting help from nobody else. They want help from America. They want America's money. They want America's bombs. They want America's support. That's the most important thing. They want America's support. Now, if you'll pay attention very closely, it's not really in America or on the Western continents in general. It's not a lot of people who really give a fuck about anything that's going on in any other country for the most part. You get what I'm saying? The only thing that we correlate giving a fuck about another country about is making fun of them. You get what I'm saying? Like clowning on other countries for how they do things, or for the simple fact of certain people want to move out of the Western continents for the simple fact that shit could be cheaper and your cost of living would go down way much if you would move to another country somewhere else. But a lot of the time, if you'll pay attention, these don't even be European countries. These don't even be Eastern countries. A lot of time it be South America that motherfuckers be talking about, like Belize and Chile and shit like that. It be Southern South American countries a lot of the time, still on the Western continents. But you get what I'm saying? Like that's what I've started to notice. Like it's people don't really give a fuck about any other country or anything, especially on the Eastern continent side of things. So that just point to not only having a high percentage level of natives in this area, also the fact that nobody gives a fuck about any other country. Nobody else cares about what's going on anywhere else, except for if a bunch of people are fucking dying and they keep pushing the propaganda of us seeing bombs being exploded and dropped on certain cities and shit like that. That's the only time that people in America give a fuck of anything that's going on Eastern continents. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, the cost of living and shit like that too, but that don't even, a lot of these European countries be the same or more expensive than what we already have going on in America. So a lot of the time it just be, bitch, you need to move to South America and your shit would be much cheaper. Like you even see people coming on the internet and talking about some, oh, you could get a fucking 10 in South America just off the strength of buying a bitch a fucking drink of coffee or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I've started to notice from that. So from my perspective, Western continents are the original land masses. All this other shit came after the fact, whether they colonized, whether they conquered, whether they came here and did what the fuck they did and started to incorporate more European and Eastern continent concepts into Western continent. That doesn't even matter. It's still after the fact. America is literally still, and Western continents are literally still like she said, the capital of the globe. This is the original land masses. This is where the original people come from. You get what I'm saying? Everyone who was here first, all the native sentiment, the native spirit, the native bloodline, it all correlates to Western continents. Fuck everything else. You get what I'm saying? Right. The world looks to America. Facts. 24/7, 365. Right. The whole world look to America. We don't be looking to anybody else except for when y'all's people is getting fucking slaughtered and murdered. And now our government feel like we need to go and help y'all and spend our tax dollars on coming and infiltrating and fucking killing off the people who's killing y'all. That's how it go. You know what I'm saying? But let's move off of that. That's just what I be peeping game of. That's what I be noticing from my experiences. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get off that. Let's get into the main topic, the main meat and potatoes of the video today. And now, you know, Schwetzy forget, so let's fucking see. Let's see what we called this. And y'all pay attention to the description in this one. Make sure you go and read the description. See what it say. Gotcha, bitch. Okay. Anyways, emotional alchemy, how to transmute negative emotions. Right. So. Now, this is the thing about it. I've talked to you guys before. A lot of us, we all experience negative emotions. We all experience negative thoughts. We all experience, even to a certain degree, impulsivity. You know what I'm saying? To a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, in my past video, I was telling y'all, man, sometimes you might just have to break some shit. Sometimes you might just have to break down and start crying, whatever it may be. Yeah, that's kind of true, but that's kind of a less expanded version of what I'm going to talk about today. That's kind of more like a past Schwetzy version. Now, the real more expanded version of this is utilizing these things for something. You get what I'm saying? If you are going to be in a negative emotion, if you are going to be in a negative thought, and now this is all open to interpretation. Don't get it fucked up. Suffering could be very positive to you. I don't know what type of paradigm you're up under right now. Suffering and what I may perceive as a negative emotion and something that I don't desire to experience might be very beneficial, positive, and even enjoyable to you to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? You might fuck with the suffering. You might fuck with the drama. You might fuck with the misery and the disparity. I don't know. I'm not you. I can't tell you how to correlate these things. But whatever you perceive as a negative thought and feeling and something that you do not desire to continue experiencing, even as a thought and feeling, or the actions that come off of these, I'm gonna tell you how to fix those. Now, this go back to something that somebody in real life had told me a few years ago. Somebody told me, you create the best, not, and this doesn't go for the whole world. This motherfucker was talking in a sentiment of speaking to me directly as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Like this wasn't something where he was just like saying it as like a broad philosophical point of view for the entire world or some shit like that. It was a one-on-one conversation speaking directly to Schwetz. You get what I'm saying? Now, and this was an old ass man. Shout out to Reggie. Y'all don't know Reggie, but shout out to you, Reggie. I ain't talked to you in a long time. I ain't talked to you since we was locked up together. Matter of fact, I tried to reach out to you, but I know how you be. You don't be at home. You don't be having, you don't be on cell phones and shit. Like I know how it is. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Reggie. You a real one, bro. I fuck with you. But anyways, so Reggie told me you create the best when you are suffering, or I can't remember how he worded it exactly, but I get the message still to this day. You create the best when you're essentially going through the worst shit. You get what I'm saying? So for me, how I transmute these things and how I actually use them as a tool rather than something that is hindering me or harming myself or other people in my environment is I filter these negative thoughts and feelings strictly through some type of creative means. You get what I'm saying? Writing a song, for me specifically, writing a fucking song and getting in there. And that's what will take me out of the negative emotion and make me joyful, especially once I finish the song and listen back to it. And then it just make me unbelievably happy, unbelievably joyously. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's really all about. It's about not leaning into the impulsivity of it in the aspect of harming yourself or other people in your environment, or even down to the point where you're destroying your own shit that you work hard for and paid for, just for the simple fact that you upset at the moment or you mad at the moment. And I know it's not particularly easy. This shit do take some work and it do take some time, because sometimes with certain individuals, we might be so sensitive to certain thoughts and feelings to the point where it kind of take over us. It take control of us, and we feel like we don't have any control of ourselves, and it feel like we kind of have to take a back seat and just watch ourselves crash out for no reason. You get what I'm saying? So it do take a little bit of work. It do take a little bit of adjustment to get yourself out of that space of allowing that thought and feeling to supersede whatever goal that you have in mind, or whatever you knowing, damn, this isn't beneficial. Like, it's not even worth it for me to crash out at this time. Like, why the fuck am I sitting here doing all this extra type of shit? Realistically, I need to be using this in a different type of way, or I just need to sit with being upset at the moment and not actually act out anything. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I would have to put this thing into practice in the first place. It would be something that I would more just kind of have to sit with and kind of surrender to that thought and feeling, meanwhile not allowing myself to curse somebody out who necessarily don't deserve it, or punch somebody in the face, or break some shit, or you know what I'm saying, something like that. I would have to just kind of surrender to it and sit with it, and not allow myself to just move off of the impulsivity, because the emotion, you might be so sensitive to the thought and feeling that your only conclusion is to just crash the fuck out and watch it happen. You know what I'm saying? But what you can do is just sit with it, surrender to it, and not allow yourself to act. Just take control over your actions for the moment. Even if you're in a space where you feel like you can't turn that off, or you can't switch it to something else that's more desirable. You might just have to sit with it and surrender to it, and just be in that space and be like, it is what it is. I'm not going to allow myself to act out. I'm just going to be here. And this is the thing too. If these things are being caused, if you're being put into a negative sentiment or a negative thought and feeling directly by the people that you are experiencing, this is not running away. Sometimes you might just have to walk the fuck away and deal with it at another time or some shit when you calm down or something like that. And even if it's in like a relationship means, sometimes conversations are really hard for certain individuals, especially when, and not only relationships, but like romantic relationships, also just like certain associations, friendships, family means. I mean, like any type of relationship that you have with somebody. The more that you around somebody, and the more that y'all are moving in the same environment and shit, especially if you like to like keep things real and not sweep shit up under the rug, and like call out certain shit and let people know how their actions are affecting you or some type of shit, conversations might start to get really hard. They might not be very easy to navigate those waters, because there's a lot of sensitivity that you have to deal with in certain areas. You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. You might be more developed than somebody else. So having a particular conversation might be very easy for you. It might be very easy for you to communicate how you feel. It might be very easy for you to communicate in general. But you have to take into consideration the other person that you're dealing with at the moment. It might not be that fucking easy for them. You know what I'm saying? So you might get pissed off for the fact that it's easy for you, but it's hard for them. So now whenever they shut down and go quiet, or get mad at you just because you're trying to talk it out right now or some shit like that, you might get pissed off at that. Now you upset because not only does this person not want to talk at the moment, now they're making you feel some type of way because now you're feeling like you're being ignored or some shit. Or you're feeling like motherfuckers don't want to meet your needs or some type of shit like that. So you could get very pissed off from that. So now you end up being in the same type of space that they're in, off of them finding it difficult to communicate. you might be in the same type of space and the same type of negative emotion just off of that. You get what I'm saying? Off of how they respond, how they're not able to communicate. You might get pissed off from that. And that shows you where you still need to grow at, where you need to grow your ass up at in a certain aspect. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, sometimes you just have to walk away. Now, this isn't implying running away. This isn't implying avoiding situations or anything like that. Sometimes you just have to let yourself and the other motherfucker calm down. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, if you are going to be angry, if you are going to be upset, if you are going to be depressed, filter it through some type of creative means. You know what I'm saying? For me, I always work better when I'm like that. You know what I'm saying? That's when there's no blockages. That's when it's just flow freely and shit like that. So that's how you transmute these things, because what's going to happen is, like I said, when you're in that negative space, but you start to do creative shit or shit that you know that you're supposed to be doing, because we all have that sense of knowing what we're supposed to be doing. I truly believe that. All of us have that sense of knowing I'm supposed to be doing this rather than this. You get what I'm saying? So just use it for the shit that you know that you're supposed to be doing. And even if you are upset doing these things, the more that you do it while you are upset, that's what's going to bring you to peace. That's what's going to bring you to clarity. That's what's going to bring you to joy and happiness. You get what I'm saying? That's how you actually transmute these things. That's how you get out of that negative space. And that's how you create shit that is way harder than anything else that you could create. You know what I'm saying? And like, don't get it fucked up. I still do be creating shit when I am in a positive space too. But at the same time, it seemed like shit just hit way harder whenever I'm like depressed or fucked up or heartbroken in some type of way. And I just go and do what the fuck I need to do. And then that's what helped me be happy. That's what transmute the emotion and actually heal the shit that I'm going through, and just bring me back to my true state of being, my true essence, which is peace and happiness, nirvana, clarity. So that's essentially the whole rundown. I'm not gonna get too long-winded on this shit. That's essentially all that it is. That's how you do it, and that's how you filter these things out. You know what I'm saying? That's how you fix yourself. That's how you heal things. That's how you deal with these things rather than avoiding them. You know what I'm saying? Like, surrender yourself to the thought and feeling. It's not that big of a deal. Just have control in the aspect of controlling your actions. You get what I'm saying? Filter these things out through means that are more beneficial to you rather than something that would be detriment. That's all it is. Grace Anna said, yeah, and when I can look back in retrospect, right? Catch you on the rewind with the Saturn imagery. Saturn imagery. Right, because the ring is more like a spiral. It is routine and pattern, but you constantly growing, you constantly elevating. So when you come back to that same shit, you're going to know how to deal with it better now. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, that's essentially all. I'm not going to get too long-winded or drain myself here. I got some shit that I need to do. So we're not going to drag it out too far. Thanks for everybody for popping in. Big shout out to Grace Anna. You already know what type of time we on. Y'all take it easy. Peace.